Hi guys, I'm Tara O'Leary, the Wine Passionista. As you may know, one of the things I'm most passionate about is making sure that you have the best possible experience of wine. And one way to do that is by helping you avoid drinking a wine that's off. There are several things that can go wrong with wine, but today we're going to talk about corked wine. What is it and how do you know if you've got one? Without getting too technical, a corked wine means the cork itself has been infected and has contaminated the wine. The chemical substance that causes corkiness is called 2,4,6-trichloroanisole, or the much easier abbreviation of TCA. TCA is produced by a fungus in the spoiled cork. So how can you tell if you've got a corked wine? Well, your biggest clue will be in the way it smells. A corked wine will smell moldy, like wet newspapers or damp cardboard. Whenever you open a bottle, be sure to smell the wine and pay attention to any dusty aromas. Don't smell the cork. Smelling the cork will never tell you anything. You'll only know by smelling the wine. And when you taste the wine, the flavors will seem muted. They'll be lacking in fruit and really uninteresting. This is why a sommelier in a restaurant pours a drop of wine in your glass before he pours the bottle for the table, to give you the opportunity to taste the wine and make sure that it's in good condition. And if there's any doubt, don't be shy or embarrassed to speak up. The sommelier will happily change the bottle for you. But a corked wine isn't always easy to detect, even for the experts, and there are 3 reasons why. The first is that the bottle you have may have a very low level of TCA, which means that the bad smells won't be as obvious. And don't worry if you don't realize the wine is corked and you drink it. TCA isn't harmful. And other than just probably being very unimpressed with the wine you're drinking, you'll be just fine. If the TCA levels are high, instead of bright, inviting fruit aromas, you'll be met with dusty, moldy, dank smells. Do you know what a wet dog smells like? Well, if you do, and you find that smell in your wine glass, then you've got yourself a corked wine. The second reason you may not be always able to tell if the wine is corked is because your sense of smell may be less sensitive to TCA than someone else's. So when in doubt, just give the glass to someone else and ask them to take a whiff and see what they think. And the last reason you may not be able to tell for sure if the wine is corked is because some wines are naturally quite stinky and they have earthy, mushroomy aromas that can sometimes be confused with the dustiness of a corked wine, especially if you've never smelt one before. So again, always give the glass to someone else and ask for their opinion just to be sure. So if your wine is corked, what can you do about it? Well, unfortunately, there isn't a fix for corkiness. You can't pour it into a decanter and wait for it to get better. The only place it deserves to be poured is down the drain. But in fact, don't do that. Stick the offending cork back in the bottle and return it to the shop where you bought it. Most merchants will happily replace the bottle for you. So don't forget, every time you open a bottle, always take a good smell of the wine, not the cork, the wine, and pay attention to any unpleasant, damp, or moldy aromas. And if you do discover a corked wine, celebrate your discovery by opening something else. What other questions do you have about faulty wines? Please leave a comment below or send me an email to tara@winepassionista.com. I'd love to hear your questions. Here's to trying something new, learning something new, and enjoying every glass a whole lot more.